Well, it's been a while since I've done any Raycaster updates. I've got this doing screen recording now, so it should be a bit better than when I was doing the recording using my phone. So I can now actually sort of move around properly and do things. This is just a big empty room. I can go into edit mode and bring up a map. You can see it, there's nothing here. But if I create a block, you can see that block exists on the map. And so you can create things like that. The big update for this has been the addition of collision detection. The diagonal corner there. So the collision detection will stop me from walking into any walls or anything. The collision detection is height dependent, so if I bring the floor up there, I can step up, but if I bring it up any further, it won't let me up. So that's pretty. I'm going to take off edit mode right now. So that's part of what took so long. Part of it is getting the corner algorithm correct, because the corner algorithm does things such as, if I create a corner there, obviously I have to be able to collide with that corner, but if it collides me with this wall, it will bounce me out this way. If it collides me with this wall, it'll bounce me out this way. What happens if I'm between the two? You've got to stop yourself from getting between the two, so you need a round buffer on sharp corners, which is why I can't walk all the way up to the corner. At the moment, there's what I call the wall buffer, which is like the size of your player, which is 5 to stop you from getting more than 5 units toward a wall, which frankly should be enough because you never need to be closer to a wall than that. That also activates for the corner buffer, but you might notice I can get slightly closer to that wall than I can to that wall. Why is that? Well, that is because I realized that you need to be able to step over a wall. So if I give myself a big pit here, no, I do the step thing first. So if I can bring that down, I can step up onto that. So I know that that is a steppable height. I make it higher, that is a steppable height. Make it higher, that's not a steppable height. Make it higher again, definitely not a steppable height. However, if you just, that's based on the height of the ground and the height of the player. So if the player was up on it, if I bring that back down, in fact, I'll not do it near this corner because that's just making it weird. If I bring the ground up there, you can see that I can walk around on here. But think about what will happen when I fall off. When I fall off, my wall buffer will intersect with this edge. And because it will intersect with this edge in particular, that means that it'll push me out this way. And I don't want to get immediately pushed out that way because that would be very jarring for the player. So as you get below a certain height, your wall buffer expands and nudges you out gently. I don't know if you saw that or not. I'll just slope the ground there so I can get back onto it. Oh yeah, we got slopes. It's great. I'm also just going to increase the height of the ceiling there as well, so I don't collide with it while I'm doing it. There's currently no ceiling collision, and it's because one, it would make it even more complicated, and two, I think that it's fair to say that if I'm going to be designing all the levels, I can make it so that you never hit the ceiling. Maybe I need to do something for jumping over things and hitting the ceiling. It's not really that kind of game though, so I don't think that ceiling collision is necessarily a big thing right now. Maybe I'll add it in the future. So as I fall off this edge, I get nudged out at a certain height. Now that seems pretty bizarre there, but as you're just walking along, it doesn't make much difference. And if you're approaching an edge and start to fall, you can almost try and save yourself. I think, I'm not really... There should be a point at which it's still possible to get back on, but of course as you get past that point you get nudged outwards. It doesn't give you any momentum from the nudging outwards, so it's not going to make you fly off. But if I make that a really deep pit, give myself a way to get out of it. There, way out. Take the map off screen, we don't need the map anymore. So as I fall in, it nudges me out a little bit, but then it's just a straight fall. And after that point, it's just a straight fall downwards. Which, frankly, I'm happy with, because it's not really an action game that I'm making. It's going to be a puzzle game. So, I'm happy with that. So yeah, next I have to, at the moment, this is it. This is the only application produced by this code. But what I would like is to split it so that it's got a game engine and an editor, because I don't want the editor to like clutter up the main interface, but also at the same time I would like to be able to, you know, save levels and load them into an actual game engine. Obviously they're going to come from the same code base but produce two different things. Is there anything else that I've added since this? Oh, there was a thing I was talking about on Twitter. It was the wedge case. Not Twitter. I don't use Twitter. Mastodon. I create that, and that creates this what I called the wedge case, which is where you have two walls which kind of come in together at an oblique angle, and if you go into there, theoretically it should bounce you around a bit. And the thing is, because of the way that it works, you can sort of push into it, but it will always push you out and you will never get any further in. If I go to running mode, it pushes in even further, but it will always push you back out again and you can never get through. Only real concerning bug for now, and this is, I don't really understand what causes this, is that if I increase the light level on a wall, like so, as I back away, the light level seems to do odd things. Now, I don't know if that's like a moiring effect or some kind of precision thing, but the light level shouldn't be doing that. At first I thought maybe it was just the texture, but the texture doesn't do that either. So I'm a bit confused about what's causing that. It's obviously something to do with working out the position on the wall for whether it's meant to be light or dark. It seems to be thinking, as far as I can tell, it thinks that this strip of the middle of the wall here is darker than it should be because it thinks it's further out to the edge. And I think that might be a precision thing. I don't know. I need to look into the code, because the closer you get, the less obvious it is, but it's still going on. See, it starts about there and it gets darker and darker and darker. As far as I could tell through early testing, that didn't happen if you increase the brightness on a flat wall. So you can see some wiring from the texture there, but it doesn't have any kind of light level alteration. So obviously that's the thing I need to mess around with and fix. Yeah. But thus far, I think it's looking good, and the next thing to do is the editor code and maybe fix that light bug, but I'll save that for later.